what's going on, everybody? For tonight's video, I don't know. I just got done filming a video, and I went to do my editing and upload it to YouTube. And I was looking because I was just looking over things, reminiscing and whatnot. And it kind of just so today is April 5th now, and I had another video planned for today, but I'm gonna go a different route, and this video will go up today. I've mentioned before that this channel was not always ASMR. It's been, honestly, many different things over the years, and I'm going to recap a little bit of it. My ASMR journey started on April 5th of 2022. So today, a full year ago, has been my ASMR journey, and I have it pulled up off to the side to kind of reference some things here. Realistically, what was it? So I've been consistent, because I just didn't, it was my August 2022 update video, because I took a big break between July and August. I was just sort of all over the place before that. Really, August is when I was started consistent, saying, hey, I'm gonna do 2 videos a week, and just be consistent with it. Before that, I was figuring things out, figuring things I liked, I didn't like, but regardless, I decided to do ASMR on April 5th of 22. And my first ever ASMR video is ASMR Nonogram Part 1. I like doing Nonogram as a fun little game on my phone, but at the time I thought that would be good. That would translate over well to ASMR. So that's the first time I did an ASMR video. Now, as of this moment, at the time you're seeing this, I probably will go ahead and change things, but at the time of me recording this, that is the oldest video on my channel. However, that is not the oldest video on my channel. I'll work backwards here. So I should work forwards. Okay. So my first ever video was from January 12th of 2011. It is still on my channel. It's just privated. It has 87 views on it, and that's only because me and my friends were the ones that watched it. That was the Modern Warfare 2 50,000 plus Spas War. I filmed, and again, this was 2011, so I was, oh god. Let me do some math here real quick. 07, I was 10. Let's see, 10, 11, 12. Can I do math? I can't do math. It's kind of late right now. I'm cheating and filming this the night before, but it's fun. Oh gosh, I'm curious now. So 13, okay? Because I filmed this in January of 2011, so I had not, my birthday's in March, so I hadn't turned 14 yet. So I was 13. That's also when I uploaded. I don't remember if I immediately filmed it and then uploaded it, or if I filmed it, held on to it, and uploaded it. I don't remember. What I do remember is I believe I was in 8th grade, 13, and Modern Warfare 2 just came out. Me and my friends loved to play split screen together. Just what we used to always do was we'd all pick a class. That way, like if everyone picked their favorite class, there'd always be one stronger than the other. So we would all pick the same class and then, duke it out, see who's the best. And in this instance, I don't remember the point system. So 50,000 plus was, 50,000 plus the score on split screen was a lot. And I remember it was I think 2 hours that we played to get to that. And for whatever reason, I just said, you know what, I'm going to record this. And I'm really glad I did, because it is the oldest video on my channel. It's with two friends of mine that I haven't spoken to in many years now. We were great friends when we were in Scouts together. And, people move, people get married, and it's a good memory. Original Modern Warfare 2 came out, and we're all just sitting around. Their family would come over to our house, or we'd come over to theirs, but all us kids would be playing upstairs in the game room, and while the parents are downstairs talking, and it brings back great memories. So that was my first. I made the only video. I take that back. I've deleted a couple videos over the years. Not many though. Right after that, I made a video of me getting out of the Black Ops 1 chair. Super cringy stuff, but that's probably well over the time period that I could ever recover that video. And then I made a video series, which I think is still on my original camcorder. I made a video series with those same friends where we were running around pretending to be chased by an invisible monster. I called it the Monster Series. I think there was 3 parts to the monster and then the Black Ops. So those are the only 4 videos over the course of, 2011. But 12 years? Wow. So over the course of 12 years, I've only deleted 4 videos. Which is pretty impressive in my opinion, but regardless, I started off just making silly little videos with my friends. Then in 2015, 2016, no, I take that back, I did delete a couple more videos. It was 2015, end of 15, beginning of 2016, Black Ops 3 came out, which is one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time, just because of where I was in life. I was in college, had tons of freedom to just sit down and play the game I have many great memories playing with my friends, multiplayer. I got Prestige Master and Dark Matter camo. I got Prestige Master and Zombies as well, which to get both was quite a lot back then. I just have great memories of anytime there was a double XP weekend, we'd go to our local Redner's. Most people don't, a little, whatever mini Walmarts you have where you're from. A small, more than a convenience store. It had deli foods in it and whatnot. But we'd go there, we'd get little Mountain Dews and little Pringles and some snacks, and just come home 8, 9 o'clock at night. We play multiplayer. Maybe mix it up with some zombies, whatever. then I have good memories. Like, everyone goes to bed at like midnight or 1, and I'd stay up till like 5, 6 in the morning playing the Giant. If you've ever played Black Ops 3, I loved the Giant. It was like January when I played the game a lot. So it would be like snowing outside, and you're playing a snowy zombie map. It was very minimalist. Just four perks, Pack-a-Punch, 2 guns, and that was kind of all you. There wasn't any elaborate Easter eggs or anything. So playing solo was really fun on that map. So I got great memories of staying up all night playing Black Ops 3. So for a little while there, this channel had several videos of me. I feel like everyone has to try to become a gaming channel at some point. But there's a couple of videos that I filmed where it was like my absolute best games that I was having at the time, where I'd go like, it would be like a game of TDM, I'm going 50 and like 2. The only one I distinctly remember was, I don't even remember what the maps are called now, but there was a forest map. Oh gosh, this is gonna kill me. Reminds me of Estate from Modern Warfare 2. It had there was a little building up top, and you could jetpack your way down to like a little ledge below. Yeah, I went like 50 and 2, 50 and 3, something like that. It just absolutely crushed it. So tried to become a gaming channel for a little bit, but very quickly gave up on that. Even back in 2016, there was way too much competition. And there's something about, so like, I think it's one thing to play video games. So like, let's say I did that. I played from 9 p.m. to like 6 a.m. every day. Well, it's fun to just sit down and play. Just forget about the world around you, forget about your problems, any trauma, just forget about it all, and just play some games, get lost in them. And when I introduced the element of recording and filming and stuff like that, now you're sitting there, and to be honest, not every game is a really good game. It's not a 50-plus kill game, you know. So I play for 12 hours, and honestly, like 1 or 2 of those would be worthy of recording. So it wasn't worth the time and effort into it. And at no point do I want video games to ever feel like a chore to me. I don't want them to feel like work or I just don't want it to feel like work. Like sitting down, talking, making ASMR videos, it's a fun escape for me, and seeing how other people like them and other people enjoy it, I look at you guys like friends. I look at you like, there's a friend sitting across, and we're having a chat, we're doing a role play together, like whatever it may be. At no point does this ever feel like work to me. And with the gaming side of things, it always felt like work. And then you wanted to compete better, you wanted to use the more meta guns, and the gaming channel thing didn't last long. So then comes to 2018, and I was doing a little bit of everything. It wasn't a gaming channel or a commentary channel. It was just sort of a jack of all trades channel. I talked. I gave my thoughts on upcoming games. I even did a freestyle. That one's always going to remain private. I just did a little bit of everything. So May of 2018, I said this was my getting my channel up and running video where I talked. Balloons, I'm a huge fan of Bloons Tower Defense. I played the original Bloons Tower Defense 3 on my ancient computer back in the day whenever that came out. And I've been playing them ever since. There was a mobile game I was playing in 2018 called Bloons Monkey City. Don't know if it's still around or not. VPNs and ad blockers weren't very prevalent at the time. I just remember I loved playing the game, and they interjected you with so many ads, it got ridiculous. So I got mad enough to film a video about it. Me talking about Bloons Monkey City. Then I made a video on Black Ops 4. But I made that in May. Why? I'm trying to think why I would make that in May. Or maybe the trailer just dropped or something. I think that's what it was. I think the trailer just dropped. Because 2017 was World War II. It wasn't until like November of 2018. So I think like the trailer, some stuff just dropped. I talked about that a little bit. Story time. Oh my gosh. This video I made, story time of how my friend dated a hypochondriac, was because on the surface level she was. The biggest story I remember from her, she was a hot mess. The biggest story I remember from her was we were hanging out one day, and she was in her room. It was pitch black. The curtains were closed and everything, and a sliver of light made it through. She had every disease known under the sun, and a sliver of light came through the curtain and touched her leg, and she started screaming in pain. The sun, she was allergic to the sun, she said. She was freaking out. It hurt her so bad that her boyfriend had to come over and console her, and it was it was crazy. And then the very next day, she's out with another friend, outside in like the middle of the summer, taking pictures on Instagram. So, to this day, I don't know if any of her medical conditions were real, if they were all fabricated, if some of them were fabricated, some were real. I don't know. But that's the cherry on top for me when I look back at those things. She was an absolute mess. The big one with her was that story I remember. She'd always have to one-up you. It's like at the time, like if a friend was going through something, like if a friend needed a heart monitor, I think one of my friends needed like a heart monitor for something. Just to like, it wasn't even like confirmed if they had something or not. Just to rule something out, and she's like, because the friend had the heart monitor, her condition magically got worse over like the week that the friend had the heart monitor, and just had to take all the attention on herself. Like no one could ask my friend like, hey, why are you wearing a heart monitor? What's going on? No one could do that. All the attention had to be brought to her. So that's that video. I'll just leave it at that. We have, which is that's one of my biggest videos before I became an ASMR channel, my story time as a food service associate. So before I became a CNA or medical assistant, I worked at my local hospital as a food service tech. Looking back, it wasn't bad. It was just, I think the way they did things was, and again, I think I filmed this like right before I quit. Basically, what I do remember with that one was, the title of food service associate, like that was your job, and you got paid the same rate. But there was like 20-something jobs that fell under it. And you were expected to kind of know all of them and just be put where you were put. So there was like the cleaning room, and the cleaning room had several different, like, I don't even want to call them stations, because they were more than stations. They were like different jobs. But there was someone who cleaned the machine. There was someone who cleaned the pots and pans, and there was someone else who would deliver the clean stuff to. But like that was like, it's hard to explain. And again, I'm now 2018 was 5 years ago, so what I do and don't remember is. When I do remember, my favorite job was. So there was actual food. As a food service associate, you never brought the patient's food. There was actual dietitians for that. So what I liked doing is they had these big carts that had like all the patient trays in them. The dietitians would bring those up and serve everyone their food, make sure everything was good. And it was my job. There were 6 floors on the hospital, and each floor had multiple wings, and you start the day off very light. You would go around the whole hospital, checking for if there was any overnight trays left. Then you'd relax for a little bit. Then you'd go back through, get all the carts from lunch, bring them down, clean them. You would go do your trash. There was this crazy long, you would take these massive bins, and there was this crazy long hallway. Very quiet, very by yourself kind of job, which I loved. You take the trash, and then you would go collect all the trays from dinner, and that was pretty much your day. It was just, it's one of those things where, if I remember correctly, and again, this is 5 years ago, I don't even remember that much, like, I liked that job, and I could do that job forever. The problem was, we weren't even short-staffed. It was the fact that my current job does this sometimes too, is like, so for my current job, I'll use this as the example. There's 4 of us, and how it should work is there's 2 people that are and have been trained on the front desk. So they check patients in and they discharge patients. They answer phone calls. They do paperwork, that sort of thing. And then there's 2 of us that work the back. So we room patients. We triage them. We do injections, like PPDs, physicals. We do that sort of thing. And that works great. 2 people were trained on the front. 2 people were trained on the back. And that's where we like to be. That's where we all agree we like to be. And then they love, just out of nowhere, like they try to take our front desk girl and make her an injection person. And she's the most qualified and experienced at the front desk for my shift. When the 2 of us in the back have never been trained on the front, so now the front desk only has 1 person, and there's 3 of us in the back. Like, you're moving people around for no reason. And it hurts the shift ultimately. So now the front desk is hurting. We're training someone in the back that doesn't want to be in the back. She likes the front. And it's complicating things for no reason. And that was the problem with my food service job, was no one else liked to do that. A lot of people are very social. I was not. So going up, collecting trays and bringing them back down, taking the trash down the hallway. Some days I'd go without hardly ever saying a word to people. And I was the only one that really liked doing that job. And then they wanted to move me, that's what it was. So one day, out of nowhere, they wanted to, again, you're still a food service worker, but you were kind of moved up a little bit. I had absolutely no training whatsoever on the food aspect of things. Again, I'd been cleaning and I'd been taking carts down. And then one day, like, my boss's boss's boss came up and said, hey, go work the food station. I had zero training on this. I don't know the menu. I don't know what foods go with what. And it's like prime lunch rush, and I'm trying to get all the food out to everybody, and I failed miserably. And I'm getting yelled at. I'm getting like, yeah, it was a massive crap show, and I'm like, I didn't feel like I deserved that. Nobody gave me any prep, no training, no nothing. They just said, here, go do this. And then after that, they wouldn't let me go back to doing getting the carts down, and it was just, I don't get it. I still don't get it, but, so I left. I was like, the one job I did enjoy doing as a food service associate, they took that from me, so I left that job. That was my 20 minutes of rambling about that. I think this is either right before I left or right after I quit at the time, but regardless, there's that video. I made a video on my journey to becoming a CNA. I think that just all I did was talk about real quick, like how to become one in my state. It was nothing special. Day versus night shift as a CNA. So, real quick with that one, so I went from a food service tech at the same hospital and was hired as a CNA, and they required you to do, at least for your, I think it was like a month of orientation, they required you to do some days, some night shifts. And day shift was 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Night shift was 7:30 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. And I think staying up late, so like I mentioned, I used to stay up till 6 a.m. I don't think I could stay up till 6 a.m. anymore, but I used to stay up till 6 a.m. playing Black Ops 3. And it is two wildly different worlds, playing games till 6 a.m. versus working till 7:30 a.m. Two very different worlds. I enjoyed the day shift, but it was very hectic, very fast-paced. Everyone needed everything, and you were constantly moving for 12 hours. My boss was also something quite special, and she bought these computers so you could type and stand, and for the full 12 hours, day or night shift, you could not sit. It was actually a write-up to sit down at any point in time. So for 12 hours, you were running around. You cannot sit at all. My throat is dry. I've been talking for 32 minutes. apologize. Ooh, I'm thirsty. Alright, anywho. You couldn't sit for 12 hours, so the day shift was hectic, and I would go home incredibly tired. In comparison, it was 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Was it 7? It was 7. Okay, so the hospital was 7 to 7. My current job is 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And being able to sit makes so much of a difference, it's not even funny. So I'm constantly, at where I currently work, we see like 100 patients a day. So typically all you do is you get a clipboard, you room a patient, you figure out what's wrong with them, figure out their full medical history, medications, allergies, conditions, surgical history. You get the whole works done. You give them a shot if they need a shot. Like if their back's hurting, you can give them a shot of Toradol, like whatever. It's also seasonal allergy season, so my nose is itching. Apologies. But then, so once I get all that information, I go to my computer and I sit down and I type it in the computer. As soon as I hit enter and that information's in there, I stand up, grab another clipboard, and do it all over again. And there's one other person helping me, but when that other person's on lunch, I'm by myself. But it's a never-ending process for 12 hours. But just that little bit of being able to sit in between patients, or even just, hey, maybe 5 patients come through the door, we quickly knock them out, and no one else comes through the door. So then I can sit down until the next patient comes in. Being able to sit makes so much of a difference, it's not even funny. And I'm not talking about, like, I'm going to go sit in a corner and hide. Like, I'm actually working, but being able to sit and relax, huge difference. So 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So day shift was very fast-paced, but the time was nice. 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., that is the only time I have ever worked a night shift. I probably did maybe 7, 8, something, maybe 10, I don't remember how many. I did a decent amount of night shifts, and I vowed never to do a night shift again. I felt like I aged, like, years from just doing a couple weeks of night shifts. The drain it put on me was insane. It's just like from 7 p.m. And again, most of the patients are asleep. Some wake up, some need you throughout the night. It's really not, the job itself was hardly anything. Our boss was a nut job, and she would, even for the night shift, she would come in. She's the manager for the whole floor. She would sometimes come in at like 2 in the morning. Sometimes she'd come in at like noon and then stay till like 2 in the morning. She was all over the place to make sure that you weren't sitting. So even though all your patients are asleep, you can't sit. Absolute nut job. And so the problem is all the patients are asleep. There's nothing to do. So 2 a.m. was our lunch break, and they did actually have the cafeteria open for us. So I'd get a little bite to eat, but once you hit like 3, 4 a.m., I was like, you're like a zombie. It was painful. Those last couple hours were so painful. Never do a night shift again. And then I'd come home at like, by the time you get home, it'd be like 8 o'clock, and in the morning now, and I could not sleep through the day for the life of me, even though I am super exhausted. So, I hated that job too. day versus night shift video. And then I do believe I made story time as a CNA at a hospital. If you don't like your job, leave it. Yep. Yeah, I made that because I didn't last long there. Again, it's a very good point. I don't remember the points I made in that video. That was March of 2019, so that's been 4 years now. But basically find a job you like doing, and it's like I work 80 hours every 2 weeks. I put in my 40 hours every week, 12-hour shifts, and at no point does it feel like work because I like my coworkers, I like my job, my bosses are nice. At no point do I ever feel like it's really work. Even when I am actively running back and forth throughout the halls, rooming patients, I don't feel like it's work. I feel like for me, the biggest difference in any job is even if the work's super demanding, if your boss or manager, whoever's above you, is nice and understanding that, like, hey, you guys are running around like crazy, you guys are super busy, how can I help out? As long as they're not yelling and adding to the stress. Like, it's one thing if you have 20 patients in your waiting room and then your boss starts yelling at you. Like, when they add to the already, work itself is already stressful. So when they add to that, that just sends me overboard. But like I said, through trial and error, I've left a few jobs. Through trial and error, I found a job that I enjoy, and that was that video of me saying I'm leaving it. I have a video where I counted to 500 for no reason. Don't ask. Then my thoughts on Black Ops 4 after release, and then my freestyle, which I'm not going to talk about. So then from March of 2019 till April of 22 I didn't make any videos. And that is because at the end of 2019 was when it was 2019, right? Yeah. At the end of 2019 is when my ex-girlfriend got into a car accident that spiraled out of control into us breaking up. And then 2021 was a haze for me. Sort of me moving on from her. And then 2022 is when I really feel like I got myself back. So I think talk for 41 minutes about some old videos. Crazy. So, yeah. So I started off just making silly videos, was doing some gaming videos, and then I was doing like an all-around encompassing channel before I honed in on, like I said, it was 2013 for me. I clicked on the one Lillian, clicked on one of her videos, discovered ASMR, and I've been watching it for now a decade. And then something clicked for me where I said, you know what, I might be good at this. And through some trial and error, there's 750 of you that seem to like my content. So I think I did a good job picking ASMR and contributing to it. So we're 43 minutes in this video now, and you might be saying, why does this video even need to be made? And that is because my thought process was, when I'm looking back at some of these videos, just show you where I've been. They're all privated right now, but I think just sort of show you the progression of things and where I've been and where I've come from for some things. I was just going to make them all public. Just say screw it. And they are not ASMR, they're just, a lot of them are just me talking. Except this Boss War video, that is me talking, but so I think I was just going to unprivate them, just have them out there. If you want to watch them, great. See where I've come from over the years, see how I've evolved to kind of where I'm at now. And if you don't, it's not a big deal. They were many years ago at this point. So I think that about does it for this video. I kind of recapped what those videos are. And we'll kind of go from there. So I probably will. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But I probably will just go ahead and unprivate them, just make them public again. That way it's just sort of all out there. Gives you guys some content if you want to see it. If not, it doesn't hurt my feelings any. So, if you guys have any ideas for content or any suggestions, please let me know. I'm always happy to make any video ideas you guys have. And with that being said, I hope you enjoy, and I guess I will see you guys in the next video.